In today's video, I will guide you through everything you need to know about using Short.ai to create high-converting short-form content.
I tested AI story generation with a simple prompt and got a chilling result. Should I keep creating these eerie tales? I gave an AI a super simple prompt.
Especially faceless videos. In this video, we'll cover an overview of its features, how to create a faceless video step by step, and a breakdown of the pricing plans. Alright, so first thing to do is to use the link in the description so that you'll be prompted here into the Short AI website. And then from here, you can now start creating for free and set up your account. So you want to use the link in the description so that you'd be able to claim the bonus, which is a good one because you will be getting bonuses worth $100. So make sure to check our link in the description now. And then once you have used that link, you may now click here on start creating for free. And then from here, you would need to sign in with your Google account, or you could continue with your email and password. And then after that, it would send a verification code to your email. And then you just have to confirm it. And then you will now be logged in into your Short AI account. In my case, I'll just go with Google. And now, once you're here, you can now start creating your content in here just to try out the features in Short AI. But you won't be able to export them yet because you have 0 credits. So I recommend that you go here into the pricing first. So click here on pricing. And then from here, you would now have the creation plan and channel plan. So first, let's discuss the creation plan. So in here, we have the basic, which is $19 per month. This would give you 160 credits per month. That is enough for 40 faceless videos or 53 minutes of auto captioning. You get essential tools like faceless video generation, auto captions, basic voice options, and the ability to post directly to TikTok and YouTube. File uploads max out at 300 megabytes, and you can download all your videos. Next is a Pro plan, which is the most popular at $30 per month. And what's included here is that it would offer 360 credits monthly. That boosts your capacity to up to 90 faceless videos or 120 minutes of auto captioning. You get everything in the basic plan, plus access to both basic and pro voice tiers. Great if you want a wider range of AI narration styles. Next is the enterprise. So if you are producing content at scale, you can get this at $60 per month. The enterprise plan gives you 720 credits per month. That means 180 faceless videos or 240 minutes of captions, a higher 500 megabytes upload limit, and a full voice access. It's the ideal choice for agencies or high output creators looking for more flexibility and storage. Alright, so now that you know this, next is the channel plan. In here, we have the essentials. So for managing social media distribution, there's this channel plan. The essentials tier starts at $15 per month for 3 default channels. And you can add more channels for just $5 each. As you can see, when I click here on the plus button, it would now increase in $5 because we have added a channel right here. It is now 4 channels, and we add more, it will now become 5, and it will now become $25. And now you could start with a minimum of 3. You cannot go lower than that. You'll get unlimited access to scheduled releases, and each channel can post up to 10 times a day, which is perfect for consistent high frequency posting. So that's it. Now, if you would want to save even more money with this, is that you want to make sure that you enable this one right here. You want to go for yearly. As you can see, instead of $15 per month in here, you'd just get $12.50 per month. Same goes with the creation plan. Instead of 19, 30, 60, you'll get 19, 25.50, and then 51. So there will be no discount if you just go for the basic plan. Your yearly discount will be on the Pro and Enterprise plan. So yeah, just go for yearly if you would want to save on the long run. But if you're just testing the waters, then the monthly plan would be fine. Alright, now that we have our subscription, the next thing that we're going to discuss is the menu here on the left side. So first is where you'd be able to see your profile and how many channels you have in your description. You could also click here and then you'd be able to see more of your account, like the subscription details, channels, and then the invoice right here. Next is that you have your available credits in here. So in my case, it is still at 360. So I got a pro plan in here, so I got 360 credits. Next is that we have the home section. In here, you would be able to see the recommendations of Short.ai, like the Reddit story, which is the best niche, and then some other features or content that you could create, like fake text, a story video, and then some new features like the split screen and dialogue generator. And then you also have AI tools that you could use here, and then the upcoming AI tools like the video to text and text to speech. And then here you have the popular templates right here that is trending or is commonly used by the users in Short AI. So we'll just be viewing a few of them. So simply just hover over them. For example, here in the
Hey,
fake
Jamie,
text,
did you know that effective policies can drastically change environmental outcomes? Absolutely.
AI
In the
story
highlands of
video,
present-day Ethiopia, the Aksumite Empire was born. Around the 1st century AD, this civilization thrived.
and now let's go for Reddit story.
ATA for being disappointed to eat sandwich meat for Thanksgiving. ATA for being disappointed that I bought all of this stuff to make sides and cap.
So yeah, those are the contents in here that you could do. Like we also have dialogue generator here. And then you have more pages that you could go to. Next is the create. So basically this is where you could create a Reddit story, fake text, and so on. So if you click on them, then it would now prompt you into the settings in creating that content. So you could just choose what content you want to create right here. Next is a publish. So basically it's a calendar wherein you can schedule your post, and in here you can see your social media channel. So if you'd want to add one, you can click here on connect channel, and now from here you'd be able to add a new channel. Next is my project. So this is where you'd be able to see all of the content that you've created here in Short.ai. And finally, the pricing, which we have discussed earlier. And then the language in here. So if you'd want to change the language, you can just click here at the bottom. And then finally, we have the logout button. All right, so now we have a general idea on what we could do here in the menu with its buttons. Now we're going to proceed into focusing on creating faceless videos here in Short.ai because this is the main feature of Short.ai. So first is that we could just go here into home. And then from here, we would be browsing popular templates. So I recommend that you take inspiration first so that you'd be able to be sure that you are creating the content that you'd want, because Short.ai is a credit-based system, as you can see right here. So you have to be very careful on what you're creating, because if you are creating useless stuff, then you will just be wasting your credits. So that is a tip in order for you to manage your credits efficiently. So let's say that we're going to go for a Reddit story. So you could take inspiration from a template here. For example, this one. So you can click here on create now, and then you'll now be prompted in here into your AI script. And then you can also go for the background, subtitle, and audio in here. But as for this one, we'll just be going here into the create section here and click here on Reddit story. And this is where we would be starting the process, but you could also do the first one if you'd like that. In my case, I'll just go from scratch. So now in here in the custom script, you could go for Reddit card, which is optional. So you could modify the avatar in the Reddit. So you could customize that. And then you could also customize the name. So let's say sample Reddit right here. And then you could go here into this notice. So you could turn it on. And as you can see, it now has something like this in the description. And then you could also modify the heart reacts and the comments right here. So you could go for something like this or like that. And then you could also go for this one if you don't want to. So in my case, I'll just go for this one. I think this is more appropriate. And then from here, for the avatar, I'm just going to go for this one right here with the awards. So I'm going to also modify that. And then the avatar in here, you can click on that. And then you can just upload what you'd want. But in my case, I'll just leave it as is because this is an iconic profile picture in Reddit as a default one. Next is the Reddit post description. So in here, you could input your own manually, or you could click here on the drop down button. And from here, you would now be able to customize the target length of characters. You can go for equal or less than 100, or equal or less than 200, or maybe custom, whatever you'd want. So now I'm gonna write my sample prompt in here. Actually, I'm just gonna paste it right there. and then it will now be applied here, as you can see. And now you could now use the AI rewrite function. So again, you could also apply your settings in here. So I'm just gonna click here on AI rewrite, and let's see what it got for us. And this is the AI rewrite result right here. So you could just choose on which is better. Is it the after result or your original? So in my case, I'll just go for the after one because I think it is more appropriate, and it's also more concise, which is better so that the viewer would be able to understand the content easily. Next is the video script. So in here, you can now input your script in here, and take note that there is a tip in here. So approximately 1,000 characters per minute of video. And this would also affect on how much credit you will be spending, because this would also affect the duration of your video right here on how long your script is. So that would directly impact on how much credit you will be spending in order for you to create this content. So make sure to remember that so that you'd be able to effectively manage your credit spending per creation. So now I'm gonna input my video script. So here it is. It's very short. And now you could click here on AI rewrite again if you'd want to. And again, you have the drop down menu wherein you could choose the target length of characters, 1,000, 2,000, equal to original, or custom, whatever you'd want. In my case, I'll just stick with equal to original and click on confirm. And then it would now go for the AI rewrite. And now we have the original and the after. So you could just judge on which one you would like to choose as your final video script. So in my case, I'm just going to go for the original because I think I like it better this time. So there it is. Next is once you are done with all of your settings in here, you could also go for import from Reddit or TikTok. So this is another way of you getting in your script or editing your video in here. So you could go for this one. As you can see, you would have this features or options instead, and then AI script, you would have this. So as for this video, we'll just be going with the custom script one right here. So now once you're satisfied with this, you could also go here into the background next. Now in here, you could choose your background. So this is basically just brain rot videos. So you can see Minecraft gameplays right here. So for example, I'm just going to go for this one, select that. And then now we're going to go into subtitle in here. So now you can select on how you would want your subtitle to be. But since we are creating a Reddit post content, I don't think that would be necessary. But if you'd like to add a subtitle, like maybe this one right here, I think this one is clean. And then once you have chosen your preferred text style, you can go into audio if you'd want to. So in here, you could now choose the voice. So what voice would you like to narrate your script? So you could click here on the play button so that you'd be able to hear a preview of their voice.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about all the latest news, trends, and celebrity gossip. Let's get into it.
So yeah, these are the samples. So let's just hear a few more.
And here we have a calm, well-spoken narrator, full of intrigue and wonder for nature, science, mystery, and history, with a smooth and velvety tone.
Now let's go for Jando.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships off the shoulder of Orion. Those moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain.
So yeah, that's it. And you can explore more voices if you'd want to. I specifically like the Jando one right here because I think it is intriguing and it would spark curiosity to the viewers, especially with this Reddit content. And then next is that you also have some filters in here. So if you have a specific criteria or characteristics you are looking for, you could just simply use this. Like for example, you're looking for a male voice. And then the age right here, you can go for young, middle age, or old. So let's just go for old for this example. And then go into language. You can go for different languages right here that you want. In my case, I'll just go for English. Now, let's go and hear the first one.
And as for Cinderella and the prince, they lived happily ever after.
So yeah, this is a Santa Claus voice. Now let's go for the next one.
Want people to pay attention? Then make the voice sound powerful, confident, superior.
Once upon a time, in a quaint little village.
So yeah, those are the samples for the male Old English voices. So now let's go back into the Middle Age. And from here, I'm just going to go with Jendo for this one because I really like this.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
So yeah, I'm just going to choose Jendo. As you can see, it is now highlighted, so I have not chosen that. And lastly is the more settings in here. So you have your style exaggeration. So you can control how much the voice exaggerates the text. So the recommended percentage is 5 to 20. And then the voice stability. So you could make the voice more stable and less robotic. So the recommended is 25 to 50% and so on right here. So you have the description on what each of them does. And then you have the option here to add a background music into the video. So you can use this switch to control whether the video has background music. If you enable this, it would have background music. And from here, you can now adjust the music volume. I recommend adjust 5. And then you can choose the music right here. For example, this one. So yeah, those are your sample music, and then just adjust the volume as needed. So that's it. These are the more settings here on how you can adjust how the narrator would speak out its voice, and then your music options. Now just to review our other options in here and go into the script. I think it all looks good. Now let's go into generate a video. Now that we have selected all our options, click here on generate video. And now we will be prompted here back into the home section. Now let's go into my projects to see the progress of our video if it's already done. So as you can see, it's now done processing. So let's view it. And yeah, let's see how good it looks.
I tested AI story generation with a simple prompt and got a chilling result. Should I keep creating these eerie tales? I gave an AI a super simple prompt, and it wrote something way creepier than I expected. I just said, a guy wakes up in a town where no one remembers him. That's it. And what the AI came up with, genuinely eerie. It's not super long, but the twist.
So yeah, that's it for the content right here. As you can see, it followed all the settings that we have chosen, like the text style, the background right here, the background Minecraft gameplay, and then also our settings here into our Reddit post. So that's it. And now you have the option to recreate if you really like this prompt or you would want to recreate more styles of this, but with a different story, voice, or whatever. You could just modify the settings after that. So you can click here on recreate. And then you could also download this if you'd want to by clicking on the download button, and it will now start downloading on your browser. Or you could click here on create post, or you could go for the social medias. So in my case, I'll click here on create post. And from here, you can now connect into a channel in here. And then from here in Shorts.ai, you'd now be able to directly post from here into your YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Just connect your channel, and then you'd also be able to schedule the publish if you'd want to right here. And you could always go back here into a home or create section if you'd want to create a new video on a different niche, like maybe fake text, a story video, split screen, dialogue generator, or whatever kind of faceless video you would want to create. But that's basically the process. You can also apply it generally on the other niches. You would just have different options, but yeah, you get the gist on how the process would be. So you just need to provide your script, and then you could go for AI rewrite and so on. So that's it on our tutorial here for Shorts.ai. I hope this video has been helpful, and kindly use the link in the description if you would like to try out or use Shorts.ai in creating your faceless content. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.